Welcome to Harmony Social and Emotional Learning by Stephanie Long. The Harmony program is an explicit social and emotional learning instructional program that can be done every day through everyday practices. It has units and lessons that are comprised of relationship activities that help to allow students to learn and practice social and emotional skills at least once a week. Lessons and the activities include storybooks and discussions, and it is very much a play-based participatory activity. There's interactive games, there's hands-on activities, and there's also role plays. There are also everyday practices of morning meetings, meeting up, buddy up, and other harmony goals that are set by students for themselves and the classroom that help them with ongoing and supportive opportunities to interact with peers of diverse backgrounds. The broad principles of human development are included as units and lessons are developmentally structured so that students engage in more complex tasks as they get older. The program provides opportunities for culturally diverse practices. It can be implemented school-wide or in one class. It can be implemented typically with teachers in the classroom, but also by school counselors and other school support staff, and it is published by National University. The Harmony Social Emotional Program is a Tier 1 curriculum for grades preschool through 5th. The scope and sequence is done in 5 units that are aligned to the castles of competencies. It includes 5 lessons plus a unit introduction for each of the topics below. Being my best self, valuing each other, communicating with each other, learning from each other, and learning how to support our community. The program contains 30 lessons and activities for each grade level, grades preschool through 5th grade. Lessons take between 15 and 20 minutes and are delivered as either one lesson or delivered in 2 to 3 segments within a week, often during the morning meeting time. It is done with a trauma-informed lens and an asset-based approach to social emotional learning. The goal is to bring out the students' strengths through this program. Pictured here is a sample of the scope and sequence of the program with an example of Unit 1 for kindergarten. The unit is Being My Best Self, and it is broken down into the 5 lessons that are within that unit. There is information about the focus of the lesson, the learning goals, as well as the CASEL skills and sub-competencies that are being met by this particular lesson. Additional program components are next. One of the most used and important additional components that are in this program is the idea of morning and community meetings. Morning meetings is an engaging way to start each day, build a strong sense of community within your classroom, and set children up to be successful socially and academically. Each morning, the students and teachers gather together for 15 or 20 minutes, and they interact with each other for 4 purposeful components: a greeting to each other, a way of sharing a little bit about each person's day, a group activity, which is where some of the lesson plans in the units can be incorporated, as well as a morning message for the day. The morning meeting is a time for students to greet each other by name. It's also a time for them to share about important events in their lives, and they can be listeners as well as offering empathetic comments and asking clarifying questions. The group activity is one that everyone participates. It's usually a brief, lively activity. It's used to foster group cohesion and help students practice the social and academic skills that they are learning. And then the news announcements is a way for students to get quick summaries of classroom news as well as announcements. This is, again, one of the most important parts of the program, and in all research is really one of the things that is done pretty consistently within the program, even if the units themselves are not always implemented. There are also 3 other everyday practices that are part of this program. The first one is setting harmony goals, and there's 2 types. There's one that's a class harmony goal, and then there's also a personal goal that is set. Meetups are an additional thing that is done with this program. It's usually a daily forum. Students gather in a circle and share expectations, and they problem solve any conflicts that are within the classroom. And then buddy ups is a way to have a peer buddy system, an opportunity that helps to create ways to help inform connection between the students in the classroom and to help them learn together and become better communicators. There are 5 steps to the Harmony class goals that are set. The first one is step 1, set the stage for creating class Harmony goals. Step 2 is for the group to think about and discuss ideas for the students and how do they want their classmates to interact with each other. Step 3 is to synthesize all of the ideas into 3 to 5 class Harmony goals that are focused on what the student should do, not what they shouldn't be doing. Step 4 is where the class, once they've decided on those goals, they record them, they sign them, they display them, and then they share those goals. And then step 5 is an important component where one monitors, discusses, and revises the class Harmony goals as needed. The meetup is also a very important component in the program. It is a student-centered forum where students gather in a circle. And with these activities, there are ways to use some card decks that come with the program. One of them is students can use response option prompts, which is a deck of cards that has different ways that a student can respond or prompt them in order to be able to support their responding skills. They also, during this time, like to establish and monitor expectations, and this could include some sub-steps for checking in with each other. Students can check in on the class or even on their own personal Harmony goals that they set for themselves. It helps to build community, and this includes sub-steps for connecting where students can connect with others, and they can use some quick connection cards, as well as with just even themselves and seeing how they are with accomplishing their own personal goals. This is done with mindful minute cards. It is done at the same time in the same place daily for 5 to 10 minutes. Buddy Up is another component to the program, and this is where students are paired up and they have a new buddy each week. With this, again, some of the card decks are also used. Sometimes they may use the quick connection cards, conversation starters, community builders, and ways to teach them how to be collaborators. This is another component that meets every day for 5 to 10 minutes, and it's best really when it's interwoven throughout the day, when there's multiple opportunities for students to work in pairs, getting to know one another, and doing it with a different person each week. It helps to promote ongoing interaction between diverse peers, and it really does help to enhance their sense of connection, their shared motivations, and social responsibility to each other in the classroom. There are books that are listed in the units that teachers can pair with lessons in order to really help illustrate how these lessons are important and how they can be used. But there also are some storybooks that come with the program. It's used to help introduce lesson concepts. It includes a space being named Z, who is a primary character, as well as treehouse friends. Digital games are also provided. There is a game room app with select Harmony games and the quick connection cards. There's also a web-based version so that students can play it online on computers as well. No social emotional learning program would really be complete unless there was a way to connect home and school together. Family letters and home activities are provided, and these are listed here as an example of a letter that would go home to a parent, letting them know at the beginning of the year that we are going to be implementing this program and to look for these letters to come home to provide information about what the students are learning as well as additional activities they can do in the home. Parts of the program can be received for free. These materials are through National University, which does publish this particular program, and this is called a Harmony Classroom Kit. And it's really considered something that all teachers or counselors or anybody who's implementing the program with fidelity should use. It's there to help amplify that no-cost digital curriculum that is available, and it's done with these products in order to really reinforce some real-world skills and strategies in order to help students. It has the quick connection cards, the storybooks of Z and his clubhouse friends, the Z plush doll, as well as some new literature guides. And you can select the classroom kit by the grade level, and there are different prices. This one was for this upcoming school year. There's an early bird special for this particular kit, and as it mentioned, there are kits for each grade level. Harmony does a good job of providing different ways of getting training in this particular program. It can be done on demand through training by using videos and self-paced training modules, and some of the topics are listed here. There's also live online training that can be done, and it's conducted by Harmony certified presenters. Sessions there are definitely more of a variety and a little bit more in depth, and they really help to make sure that you are using the program with fidelity. And then there's also live online training that's a site-wide training, so that if you're using this program or curriculum for your entire school, they have sessions that are available with interactive virtual sessions using those Harmony certified trainers to make sure that as a school it is being implemented as it should. Research on the program itself are listed below. The first one is from Miller et al. In 2017. They used quasi-experimental evaluations during the 2010 to 2012 school year of 627 students who were in the 5th grade and were within a suburban school district. And they found that the students who participated in the program reported having greater feelings of classroom identification and also liking school more. They also earned a higher overall grade point average and were involved in fewer aggressive behavioral incidences when compared to a comparison group of students. However, it should be noted, these students were predominantly white, over 50%, and the median household income was between $90,000 to $99,000. So it was in a higher socioeconomic particular area. Then with Morrison et al. In 2019, they found that Harmony provides practical and appealing strategies for teachers to integrate social and emotional learning into their daily school activities. However, they did recommend that ongoing internal and external support to teachers be provided to ensure they're implementing the program and that it is an ongoing process and assistance is available to the teachers, especially with helping them be able to implement so many components in their day. Each school should also have a social emotional learning team to assist the school with implementation. Speaking of implementation, Morrison et al. In 2019 did a study of 5 schools that were implementing the Harmony program, and it revealed there are inconsistencies in the terms of implementing it. The teachers shared that they do utilize the meetup and the buddy up activities, but they were not likely to incorporate the unit lessons, and the biggest reason why was because of time constraints in their daily schedule. Few teachers reported implementing the program to the level specified in the project agreement. And this finding is consistent with Miller et al.'s 2017 study, which also analyzed implementation of the program with fidelity. So again, an important factor that affects the implementation is if the decision to adopt the program is by an administrator or if it is done by a representative of the schools in a team form where there's more opportunities for support and creativity and how the program is implemented. A few additional factors that are impacting the implementation of this program is one, materials are available for the Harmony program that are translated into Spanish. The Harmony also has data measures that include a social emotional learning in action section for the students to be able to reflect on how are they using those competencies that they're learning and are they using them across different contexts. They can also monitor their progress towards using more of those social and emotional learning goals. There's also a data dashboard on the online learning portal that is available to help monitor progress as well as provide feedback. And implementation measures are included, and they're done through either observation or through self-assessment. Here are the references for today's presentation, and I hope that you enjoyed learning about the Harmony program.